Good spoil. Yes, thank you. These are good spoilers. The screen slaver, the main bad guy, will hypnotize people through the screen, and people, their eyes turn white, like the kind of irises of a ghost. So this is like Disney kind of like showing off and saying this is a technology that we have come up with since the 50s, right? And we're only barely showing it to the public now. That's like if the US government had like airplanes that were kind of like aircrafts, UFOs, but they didn't show the public until the future. And so it is a betrayal of our trust. It's a betrayal of everything that we hold dear, and it is just another act that Disney's going to sweep under the rug. Welcome to another week of Ghost in the Scene, everybody, with your host, Gio. How's it going? And, of course, my co-host, Rob. Hi, Rob.
Hey, Gio. Wow, what balls. That no holds bars. This is just full on out. Yeah, we're messing with you. And we don't... Wait, what? Did you just get a message, Gio?
I got a message. I got another message.
What?
Okay. Live podcasting, we got flagged, and I don't know how this is even possible, but we just got flagged for giving spoilers for the Incredible 2 movie. It seems that we might have to edit out that part. I'm going to try my hardest to fight legally behind the scenes. We have a couple days before this podcast airs, so I will fight as hard as I can to get this thing out without the editing. We're not going to have Disney come up and cut our episode. Okay? This isn't YouTube. We're not about to fucking lose our creative license over this. This is our creative expression, Disney, and we're not going to be silenced. So let's get off of the Incredibles movie because I don't want to get sued. But let's just, I'll go ahead and say it. Thumbs down. 2 thumbs down. Obviously, they show you how they do it, but the fact that they're showing you, it means they're doing it to you. You know, don't think that just because they're showing you how they do it, you're getting it done to you at the same time. So don't watch the movie. Please don't watch Incredibles 2 for your own health, please. So we have a lot to talk about this week. We can throw away anything that happened in the past. It is a new world that we are living in, that we woke up in today. So let's talk about the main news. Disney is at it again. They are merging, possibly. This is all. Who knows what's going to happen by the time we publish this? But as of today, Disney has outbid Comcast for 20th Century Fox and all of their divisions except for the Fox News Corporation.
It's a classic fox and mouse game, you know? The fox chases the mouse around, and then the mouse is the one that ends up biting the fox right in the butt.
Because we all have to remember that the mouse is rabid. It is a rabid mouse. So any contact with this mouse, you're going to catch the disease. So the fox got the disease. And now Comcast, and real quick, because I know we have some number lovers out there, some crunchers. So guys, I want you to crunch this one. Comcast offered a very cool $65 billion. Okay?
Nice chunk of cheese.
Yeah, exactly. For the mouse, though, they have a bigger hoard of cheese. They came with a fat, whopping roll of $71 billion. Okay? Let's
rolling
do the
out
math.
the camembert.
Let's do the math real quick, guys. What is 71 minus 65? I'll give you a couple seconds. Go ahead.
Wow.
What is it?
It's 6.
It's 6, guys. Now, I don't have to tell you how many zeros there are. Okay? In a billion. It's more than 6. It's way more than 6. So we have a lot of math going against this merger. We obviously know that the symbolic placement of the 6 in Disney's buying of Fox was no mistake. Okay, guys? It was no mistake.
And all you math heads out there, just also think about this. 6 billion. That's think of sixes going a billion times. Think
Oh
about
my
the
god.
amount of 666s within that 6 billion set.
That's like 6 billion divided by 3. If someone math heads do hashtag 6 billion divided by 3 and give us the answer on our Twitter at Ghost in the Scene, please. And that's how many sixes there would be if we did 6 billion sixes in a row. And
How many 666s?
exact 666s exactly. And we can't keep on saying that because our podcast will catch on fire. As much as we are audio sage, we cannot be playing with this kind of energy. 6 billion 666s is too much for us in our podcast to handle.
And I think that's the cap right there, Gio.
Yeah, that's it. So that's the kind of numerology that Disney is playing with, that they just threw out casually, right? And they might buy the movie and television division of Fox, which isn't small. They have a lot of good things going for them. I'm not going to say, I'm going to take back a lot. I'm going to say some, okay? They have some things going for them. So I just kind of want to go through some of the movies that are upcoming from 20th Century Fox. And I just want to see if your saliva glands start percolating. If you get a little weird tingling sensation in your crotch from these movies that I'm going to start rattling off, because for some reason Disney, Mickey Mouse himself, got so wet when he saw this roster of movies. And we have to find out why. As scientists, we must find out what made Mickey so wet when he saw what these movies that were coming out from 20th Century Fox. So let's go down the list. The Darkest Minds, science fiction movie, and it's about kids with the power to change everything. So potentially kind of like Young Satanists, a movie about young Satanists, I think. Dark Minds, The Darkest Minds. I don't know if I like this movie, but this might be a reason why they bought 20th Century Fox. The next one, The Predator. Wow. The Predator. Okay, so we have to start thinking kind of in terms of Disney, right? They are buying these movies because they're also buying the properties themselves. So now Disney owns The Predator.
As in the Predator. The one that you got to be looking out for when you go home, bed at night. You don't want the Predator there.
No. The Predator,
that's going to be too much.
If you're a bad boy, bad girl, bad X and Y, whoever you want to be, gender fluid child, if you get snatched up by the Predator, it's going to be a bad day. So they bought that alien. That entire alien species now belongs to Disney. They've gone intergalactic.
Well, that's what they're trying to.
Yes. Well, exactly. That's what they're trying to do. I'm already giving them the win, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe you're right, but let's face it. Disney gets what it wants, and Mickey Mouse isn't going to stop until the Predator is in the palm of his hands, is his gloved hands.
What is he going to do with all that power?
Well, there's a lot he could do, and maybe some of these movies might let us into what they're thinking of. So there's a couple movies that no one's heard of that I'm just going to skip over because I'll just mention their names, but no one's heard of these movies. Bad Times at El Royale. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking about that movie, but there goes $250 million.
I mean, you don't want to see a movie that tells you it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah. What were they thinking? And El Royale, it's like, it almost sounds like a Casino Royale sequel, but I thought that he wasn't going to do anymore. I thought he was done doing the 007 movies. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with this movie. But maybe this might be an outlier. But this is another movie that's coming out that no one's heard of. But the title itself really kind of piques my interest. It's called The Hate You Give. Very interesting, because if you think about it, Disney markets in hate. Okay? You love Disney means that you hate other things. You love the MCU, you hate the DCEU. So there's a lot of hate getting flung around. And you have to think that the more hate that they get on their side, I would feel that they'd have a better chance at flinging out some hate, you know? So fight fire with fire, I think that's what they're doing. Bohemian Rhapsody, that's another one they're buying. I think obviously everybody knows that Disneyland, they've been dying to play Another One Bites the Dust and We Are the Champions at all of their events, and they can't. But finally, of course, since now they own Freddie Mercury as a ghost, he can play for eternity in Disneyland, which is just a shame. It's just awful that they had to bring in Freddie Mercury into Disneyland as a ghost. It's really messed up.
It's very sick. First the presidents, now Freddie Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make him sit on stage, and every 20 minutes, make him get up and do the dance. And, his memory deserves better than that, people. Give the guy some rest. Let him R.I.P. people.
That's right. And we really have to also blame the makers of this movie, because if you wouldn't have made this movie, then Disney would have never have been able to buy it. So shame on you, Rami Malek, and shame on you, everybody, for making Bohemian Rhapsody. Shame on you. You should not have gotten Freddie Mercury's ghost involved in any project, because now you've let a company own him. And it is the last thing that I believe he wanted, was to be owned by a mouse in his afterlife. I do not think that's what he wanted. So shame on you. Another movie that's coming out, Dark Phoenix. I mean, it's an X-Men movie. Gambit's coming out. It's just a bunch of X-Men movies. And then Avatar 2 and Avatar 3 they bought as well. So they're going intergalactic, dude. They're going all across the galaxy.
Gio, I just had a brainwave about all this as well. Think about what Disney has been doing leading up to this point. They have been taking actors, actresses, ordinary people, turning them into beasts.
Yes.
Beyonce being bitten in the face by a were-lion.
Real quick, have you heard Beyonce's new song? Beyonce and Jay-Z have a new song. It's called Ape Shit.
Wow.
It's about animal feces of an ape. And so this is like on set of Disney's The Lion King. And she is seeing animals, apes, take shits. And so she wrote a song about it to complain to Disney. So guys, solidarity, listen and stream that song so you could hear her side of the story. Please continue, Rob, because you're going down a very good road. I really want to mine this well.
Exactly. So you see the literal shit that Beyonce is having to deal with right now. And it's all speaking to this pattern of Disney taking people and trying to create some sort of like supernatural army or just pieces for them to use for whatever they want.
Yes.
They have lions, they have superheroes, and now they want predators. They want the
Dark Phoenix.
They want the X-Men.
They want Freddie Mercury.
They want the Na'vi. They want Freddie Mercury. So, like, what kind of like intergalactic battle are they preparing for?
Exactly, and it might be the final battle, Rob. What we're witnessing, what we got tangled in, might be the end of days. I don't want to scare anybody, because it is a positive time, because the end of days are the beginning of the end of days, right? The final battle is the beginning of eternal peace. So we have to look forward to this battle. We can't stop it from happening. What we must do is we must find out whose side is going to be the winning side, and we have to make sure that we're on the right side of history.
I don't know, Joe. It's battle this big. Is there a winning side?
I believe there can be personal victories had within battles. I believe that if we trudge our way through this shit like Beyonce, we can get out of the grasps of Disney and we can get into the future, the brand new future where the world will understand that ghosts can be good and bad and that you have to judge a book by its cover and by its content. You have to see it by its face and then you have to read its insides. Ghosts, I used to be a hater, okay? I used to be a deep hater. Now I'm not so sure because now I realize that there are battles going on around us, angels and demons. And here's something that we have to look at because they are also acquiring another movie. And this is exactly what you were talking about, Rob. This movie that they're buying from 20th Century Fox is called Alita Battle Angel.
Wow.
So it is as clear as day right there. Battle Angel. So they are even preparing to fight for the heavens here. Obviously, we know that they're evil. We know that they don't have a good bone in their body. But when it comes to the end of days, we are going to have to fight from every side. And we will come out of it, I believe, unscathed. I do not think that they will get us because we're too small and we're too fast. But we got to make sure that we're on the right side of this, Rob. So we got to do our research. There is a lot more research that we can do to make sure that everybody is taken care of in the end of times, that the final battle goes off without a hitch, with as many people saved as possible. Okay? I don't want any casualties that don't have to be there. But Bob Iger and all the the junkies at Disney, they got to go.
I mean, that's on all of us, and that's on you too, dear listener. And, spreading the word, making people aware, because that's how we're going to ultimately protect ourselves, is through a network of support with each other. We are here for you. We are out there with the street team. Thank you all for fighting the good fight. We can get through it. As Gio was saying, it is the end of times, but remember, the end of times is also marking beginnings of new times.
That's right. And now we have to start thinking about our strategies, how we go about getting through this, because we're doing this together, guys. We're going to be guiding you through the end of the world. Literally, we're going to be walking you through it. You can listen. You can put in our podcast, any podcast. Just listen to it. Listen to our words, and it will guide you in a subconscious way through the end of the world so that you come out of it in one piece. So keep with us and we will not lead you astray. You are our friends and our family. That's what we think about you guys. And you're our team, our street team, like Rob was saying. So let's talk about one of our adversaries that we're going to face. Obviously, like we talk about Disney all the time, right? Like the company and their properties and their movies and their activity. What we don't, and that's kind of like focusing on like a major sports team, like the Denver Broncos. You talk about the coach, you talk about the players, you talk about the mascot, right? But at the end of the day, the thing that is most dangerous about a team is not the team itself, it is the fans. It's when you're walking from the parking lot to your car, you're wearing a different jersey, and one of the fans approaches you and tells you to get out of here, right? It is that kind of mentality. And so it is the people who love Disney, who will die for Disney, that we must be aware of. They are out there, and they will attack you unwarranted if you are bad-mouthing Disney. These are what I call Disney junkies.
And as you remember, like this is a rabid mouse that we're talking about. So you get near this thing, it's going to give you rabies. And that's the reaction that these junkies get off. They're rabid. They do not let go. If you say anything bad about their mouse, oh, you better watch out because they are going to be coming at you hot.
That's right. So it is the fans that we have to look out for, and it's something that we've all seen, guys, girls, everybody. We've seen people with a paranormal, a supernatural link to Disney movies. Okay, it's people that post online. I can't go to bed unless there's a Disney movie playing in the background, or another movie night in Disney and chill with the Bay. It's stuff like that. Okay, it is the normalization of Disney culture throughout everything. It permeates children. It permeates the young adults. It permeates older adults. People from the 50s who are now much older in their twilight years. They're reminiscing on these movies, and they don't realize the older movies are the most dangerous ones because that's when they were free flying ghosts in every single frame.
I mean, that's because that's when Walt was there, and he was overseeing the whole Ghost production by himself, and he was jam packing those films with, it's all time records.
But now we have to think about, now they have Freddie Mercury. He is a great orchestrator. And as a ghost orchestrator, they can really do a lot with Freddie Mercury. I'm not saying it's going to be good, and I'm not saying he's going to like what he's doing, but I'm just saying that he has a lot of work that he can do for Disney as a ghost orchestrator. So we might be seeing some very good choreographed scenes in Disney movies from now on, and we can thank Freddie Mercury for that. So I guess we have one positive is the fact that we will see some more Freddie in different flavors. In the Disney movies. But this is something else I wanted to talk about, right? So there are all these people that are worshiping Disney, but they have people that they single out. People really like, who was her? Emma Roberts, I think that was her name, right? She was the girl who played Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yeah, Hermione Granger is her real name.
Yes, exactly. The witch. We cannot forget.
And that's why they give her a pseudonym, so you would forget that actually in real life she's a witch.
Exactly. So she played Belle, and people loved it. In the same movie, Josh Gad plays this other guy. I don't know his name. He's kind of like the lame guy who apparently in the movie is supposedly the first openly gay character. I think we actually talked about this years ago or a year ago when it came out, that he was the first openly gay Disney character. But from that stemmed a love for Josh Gad that Disney fans just cannot get enough of. So Josh Gad has become himself his own little celebrity icon. And I would say even more than an icon to some people. I would say to some people, he has reached a level of maybe like what would you say? Like they almost revere him spiritually.
Gio, when we were talking about this before, I thought I would need to consult my charts and some numerology and ambigrams and the way that things get rearranged. And I found out while consulting these charts, Josh Gad, you have to rearrange it to have the numbers come out correctly.
Okay.
You have to flip the vowels. So it's actually Jash God.
Jash God.
Exactly. That's exactly how it comes out. And it explains everything that you're saying.
Wow. And that makes so much sense. When you put it that way, Jash God, they look up to him as a kind of God, right? Not the God, obviously. And you have to think Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse probably are a couple steps above him, but he is their Jash God. And to a lot of people, that's what they call him. And you have to think he is invoking the word of God every time they say his name. Josh Gad, on, like, let's say in a movie, he plays Olaf. He plays anybody. He plays a parrot. He plays himself sometimes. And starring Josh Gad, you'll see it. You'll see it flip in your eyes. It's kind of like we were talking about the Yanny and Laurel thing. This is all like people always seem to forget that everything is connected. Okay, guys, everything is connected. You go back to any one of our episodes, and you will see that it connects to this episode somehow because everything's connected. And so you think of Yanny Laurel, you think Brainstorm, Green Eagle, or Green Arrow, whatever. It's the same thing with Josh and Jash, Gad. And it's people like Josh Gad that keeps the ghosts kind of at bay. Think about it. There are millions of ghosts working for Disney right now. Okay? Josh Gad, as his own kind of weird single deity, is almost like a magnet for a lot of ghosts. Okay? And so instead of going out and kind of like, because there's too many ghosts working in the center, and so all the ghosts on the outside, they're kind of buzzing. They don't know what to do. And so Josh Gad is like a lantern for these ghosts. And they follow the lantern like a mosquito. And they kind of are just amazed by the light that he emits, the godly light that Josh Gad emits. To be in his presence, I'm sure, is bliss. It's heavenly. And there are other people like this. You had mentioned before, there is somebody out there known as Lil B, the based god. Right?
Of course, there's all sorts of gods out there. Charlemagne, the god, the list goes on. There's so many deities that are out in the world among us.
And they are revered as gods. And so we have to thank these people. These people are lightning rods for ghosts. Like I was saying, they're all lanterns in the ghost dimension. Ghosts, evil spirits, good spirits, they all flock to these lanterns and they look at them and they can't get away. And so they're not able to haunt other people, you know? So for that reason only, we have to thank all the gods out there. So that's Jash, that's Lil B, and that's Charlemagne, and then all the rest. You fill in the blanks, guys. And if you yourself are a god, then include yourself in that list, and we will thank you personally if you email us your name. We will thank you in our next episode because it's that important that we get all this information out there. So we have a lot of deities, a lot of different states of God in the world that are working. Some of them are working for Disney. Some of them aren't, right? Charlemagne, he doesn't work for Disney. Lil B, he's a solo actor. He's a music singer, producer, a rapper. So all these people, they're doing different things, but they're all fighting ghosts. And so we have to really kind of widen our scope, right? Not everybody looks like a ghost hunter. You guys might not know what me and Rob look like. Well, we don't look like ghost hunters. I'll say it first and foremost. I don't think we look like ghost hunters. We don't look like we've come in contact with demons. We still have the look of innocence in our faces. But if you really knew, what we saw, what we faced, I think you'd have many heart attacks, each and every one of you. Small ones, small palpitations at first, and maybe they'd go kind of worse, and you might get a big major heart attack because we've faced some demons.
There's so many things that I could tell you out there that your hair would just curl, but I couldn't even begin because it's nowhere to explain the supernatural world. It's something that minds are not made to comprehend. It's a waste of exercise. But the reason why we're here speaking with you is to help connect, because we all feel this world, even though we can't explain it. We are all affected by it. And you and me, it all affects our lives. And we need to be able to speak about it, even if it doesn't make sense. So, again, we do encourage you to reach out to us, tweet at us, email us, tell us your stories. We need to know what's going on because the only way, like we were saying before, the only way we can help each other is if we know what's going on. So, this is a safe space for all of us to come out and talk about this stuff. We know it's difficult too. And we know there's so many people out there that just don't understand about anything about ghosts or spirits, thinks it's all bogus.
Yeah.
It's probably because, they're screen slaved.
People, exactly. Wow, thank you for bringing that back. The screen slaver had a point, and it's that we are all looking at screens all the time, and they said that we're being hypnotized, but you just say switch hypnotized and possessed, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the truth. You're getting possessed by the screen. So we are here. Thank you so much for listening. Like you said, reach out to us because everything is connected. And you might not think that your story is connected to us, but we assure you that it is, that everything is. Numerology, people don't like to think about numbers that hard. And we know that there are people that do. So for those who like numerology, hit us with some numbers, guys. We want to know the deep math that we don't know yet. Obviously, we know a lot, and we're scientists, so we're gonna. If you send us some basic shit, we're just gonna laugh at you. So send us some hard hitting stuff because we want to get into some numerology more. We've been counting some sixes all over the place, and we feel that
Mm-hmm.
it's adding up to 6 billion.
Right. I mean, Gio, we're already over a quota now. So it's like, we're wrapping up. So we probably got it
Exactly.
too soon because we just called in the final ghost here. But just,
That's right.
we've been talking about the number 6 a lot in sequence. But all numbers are welcome too. 5s are cool too.
Sevens especially.
13, 7. Yeah, 7's awesome. -3. You're the math heads. Fill in the
Mhm.
blanks. Let us know.
And of course, follow us on our Instagram. That's Ghost in the Meme with an underscore in between every word. On our Twitter, that's Ghost in the Scene. Give us those 5 stars and give us a comment on our podcast on iTunes. We really appreciate that kind of stuff. Every time you do it, think of it as a prayer. I want you to pray. Pray for peace. Pray for the end of ghosts. Pray for a new tomorrow. And hopefully we can all achieve that together. So until next time, see you later, dude. Stay nice and clean.
Stay extreme, everybody.